What have we got, Craig?
We've got some kind of stir fry here with broccoli, onions.
I don't need all the ingredients.
Carrots, pepper.
That's enough.
And then
We're Lauren and Craig, and we're travelling around North America in our self-converted camper van. Craig's the designated driver, while I'm the trip planner and navigator. This is Ruby, our home on wheels for the next 6 months. And this bloody legend is Roland the rowboat. We love hiking and wildlife, so most of our time is spent at national parks and exploring the wilderness. After spending 3 months in the United States, we've just crossed the border into Canada to spend the next 3 months exploring the Rockies and the West Coast. We arrived in Waterton Lakes National Park and were given a proper Canadian welcome by a family of black bears.
Fuck you, Deirdre. I'm out of here. It was just a one-night stand. Derek! Derek, where have you gone? You told
Quick, come back.
me. You told me you love me.
Wildfires swept through this park in 2017, and we were surprised to find many of the roads and pathways still closed from the damage caused. There were still a few hikes available to do, so we headed up a very windy mountain and to a meadow filled with wildflowers. It was my birthday coming up and I wanted to spend it in my favourite place in Canada, which is K Country, also known as Kananaskis Country, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
Where did you come from? Huh?
1,700 feet.
Yeah, 2,000 metres, Highwood Pass, and it's snowing.
We managed to spot a wild grizzly bear eating dandelions on a meadow.
You're scratching yourself.
We did a short walk in the afternoon to this beautiful green lake, big mountains surrounding it and clouds drifting by. K Country is basically a collection of provincial parks, so there's no wild camping allowed, so we paid for a campground beside this lake. Today is my 30th birthday, so we're going to celebrate it by hiking up a mountain summit. This area is prime grizzly habitat, so we had to be really cautious on the hike.
Hey there.
Bear spray, a whistle, and lots of talking and shouting to say hello to the bears, just in case.
It clouded over as we reached the summit, but the views were still incredible and it felt like we were on top of the world.
Amazing lakes down here. And then a wilderness. We're going to try and traverse this ridge. Trees. And the view is epic. Crazy. Crazy good.
It was a pretty tough hike, but when we got back to Ruby, we decided to take Roland out on the lake and paddle out to an island for some birthday tea and cake. We wanted to explore more of this area, but there were 2 days of torrential rain due, so we decided to wait it out in a car park before we went hiking again. This was the first hike we did after the bad weather, and it didn't look like it would be very good as we were walking through thick cloud. But after about an hour, we were standing above the cloud, and it was one of the most beautiful hikes. There were some really interesting rock formations with sheer drops on either side and a blanket of clouds beneath us. One section of the trail had chains to hold onto for safety, and on the way down we basically ran through loose scoria. We did a couple more hikes in K Country before making our way to Banff National Park. We couldn't wait to take Roland out on the glacial-fed lakes, and the first one we stopped at was Lake Louise. The trails around Lake Louise and Moraine Lake are really busy with people, so it was so nice to get on the water and escape the crowds. To get to Lake Moraine this morning at 6:19, and the car park was already full, so we had to give up on that. We went to Lake Louise. We're paddling in Roland, who's now taken over the entire van home,
And she's not even fully blown up.
and we just tried to, we had to deflate half of her to get her in. We had to try and come back to Lake Moraine, and the road was still closed, and then we just waited in a spot nearby, and Craig was watching like a hawk to see the cars leaving the road. And he got us in! Which means we don't have to get the Poxy shuttle.
Legend!
And we're going to take Roland out for her second voyage today on Moraine Lake. Yay!
Scratching while eating.
Can't stop eating food.
Oh, it's the mosquitoes probably.
As we drove through the park one day, a wolf crossed the road in front of us and went into a meadow. When we checked with our binoculars, Craig managed to spot some wolf puppies playing in the field. The wolves eventually hid in the forest where we presumed their den was, but we decided to do a classic Lauren and Craig stakeout and wait all day to see if they would come back out. We didn't expect to see a huge grizzly bear heading straight for the den, so excuse my shaky footage as I was pretty scared for the wolves.
Like this poor wolf is protecting the den on her own.
I think I saw another wolf.
This is Lake O'Hara in Yoho National Park, and we thought the only way to get there was by a pre-booked shuttle bus, which sell out in seconds, but then we discovered you could walk the road instead. So it was a long 11 kilometres, but I'm so glad we made the effort. The area was stunning. We made our way to Jasper National Park along the Icefields Parkway, and on the way we passed glaciers, bright blue lakes, and lots of bears.
Pollen.
Oh, Oh, bless him.
Nice bikini, Lauren.
There's another cup.
We love exploring the Rocky Mountains, but the only downfall is we have to pay for campgrounds. And because we're trying to live on a budget, we kind of pack our days really full so that we don't have to spend as many nights camping. So after a few weeks of very early wake-ups and hiking at least 20 kilometres every day, we were pretty tired. As we left the national park and made our way south towards Vancouver, we figured our chances of seeing bears were pretty slim now. But that very night we were camping in a big empty car park and suddenly a black bear arrived. He sat down and started feeding on something, and we filmed him for about an hour from our van, and then he walked into the bush and went to sleep right by the pit loo. I mean, if we just pulled up now and went to the toilet there, imagine the disaster. We did a few stops on our way south. One was to these insanely blue lakes, and another was at this free camping area we found with mountain views and a lake up the road for swimming in. The camping area was so nice that we ended up spending 5 days here, and we had ultimate chill time, just cooking good food, relaxing at the lake. We cut my hair and gave the van a very good clean.
Oh my god. So today's Monday. Just having a lazy cleaning day. Here's Lauren. Hi Lauren.
Hi.
How's it in there?
Yeah, it's
Look-
sparkling.
Yeah, looking nice.
Yeah.
What was it like before?
Pretty clean already.
Pretty clean already because you're a domestic goddess, of course.
We ended up spending just under a month in the Rocky Mountains, and now it's time to head to a new area. We're going to Vancouver Island.